Welcome back, guys, to ASL. We're coming up with match 1 of the semifinals.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, going into the interviews or the introduction first?
젊음을 대표하는 에너지 드링크 핫식스와 퍼포먼스로 앞서가다 LG 울트라 기어가 함께합니다.
So we're back again for this ASL Season 12 Ro.4 Match 1 Queen vs Mini. And we are sponsored by Hot 6 and Ultra Gear. LG Ultra Gear. Before the match 1, we have watched both round of 8. Queen was actually having some difficulty beating some unorthodox of Soki's playstyle. And also Hero has been showing such a wonderful game against Slight as well and surviving from that round of 8 and made it into semifinal as well. And also for Mini, that was an incredible mind game between those players, showing some great DT plays and some other stuff against Royal that game. And this is round of 4 match 1, Queen versus Mini. The key point of this, they both actually got seeded for this ASL Season 12 here in round of 16. They both did not qualify. They didn't qualify, or they didn't get out of this round of 16 with the first place. So both of them got out of the group with the second place. And round of 8, we are right now seeing, we saw Soki showed some cool strategy, and Queen was not aware of those unique strategies and got some off guard. But unfortunately, Soki lost that last game. So that was an interesting game. And also, Mini versus Royal, we have seen some shenanigan plays, like mid-gate versus Proxy bears by Royal. And Mini has been showing lots of cool stuff. Royal has been also showing some nice performance, but kind of felt like he was lacking with the experience for the best of 5 series. And now Mini is once again back into this round of 4. And here's another key part of the ASL Season 12 for Queen. If he makes it into final, that is going to be his 3rd time making it into ASL final. And he will be the first one, first to 3rd player who's going to be making it into final 3 times in ASL. And also for Mini here, this is also his 3rd time making it to ASL final. He made it into final in Season 7, Season 11, and possibly Season 12 if he beats Queen. And if he makes it into final, he's also gonna be the first Protoss who's making it to the final 3 times in a row as well. And he can also get some more of a record that he's making it into final, or I should say the Protoss making it to the final 2 times in a row for Season 11, Season 12. And if he beat Queen 4-0, that's just gonna be like the newest record, making it into final with like 90.7%. And here's some ASL mainstream platform did some vote between those 2 players for the prediction. Shows that a lot of audience think Queen is not favored to play against Mini. 37% versus 30% win rate versus Mini. Or I should say 37% of people voted for Queen and 63% of people voted for Mini here.
자, 마지막으로 이번 시즌을 바라보고 있는 16강 진출자 선수들은 오늘 경기 어떻게 예측하고 있을지도 살펴보겠습니다.
So that was some status information by people's
ASL 시즌 12 16강에 진출한
and here's also the match prediction asking 16 people who made it into round of 16. So round of 16 players made some prediction here that it seems about even, I would say. 6 people voted for Queen and 6 people voted for Mini. And whoever voted for Mini, they kind of having some prediction that Mini will be making it to final super easily. 4-1 or 4-2 barely. Or maybe also 4-3 barely as well. from Seoul's point of view and Store's point of view. But also people who have played against Queen, they kind of lean forward that favor towards the Queen more, because Queen have been showing all the dominant play style against those two players.
아니면 변현재 선수가 프로토스의 희망을 다시 한번 이어나가게 될지. 자, 5개월 만에 만난 두 선수의 대결입니다. 4강 경기
So it's
지금부터
just kind of like
시작합니다.
another revenge match between those two players. We'll be moving into ASL Season 12 Ro.4 Match 1 momentarily.
Yep, thank you for the introduction scan. Even though those predictions were split 6-6, you know, I had my eyes on Snow's prediction because last season he got almost every single prediction right. Oh, we'll wait for the intro.
Also, we got a clean feed working, so we'll switch over to clean feed.
향한 외나무 다리에서 만난 두
Let's
선수.
see if I can
과연
skip over.
Alright, so as I was saying just a moment ago, I was all eyes on Snow's prediction because remember last season's scan, Snow got every prediction. Oh, we got another introduction, never mind.
4강 대결 11번째 시즌에 이어서 이 두 명의 선수들이 경기를 펼치게 됩니다. 둘 중에 한 명은
So instead of the female caster doing the interview, now the middle guy, 박상현, same as Soma, will be going to the interview for those two players. Hello, Queen. Your ASL career shows it's like the best record.
지난 시즌에 변현재 선수
But then you met Mini,
폭삭 떨어졌어요.
but you got knocked out so badly against Mini.
그냥 무너졌습니다. 그 변현재가 다시 한번 오게 됐고 이 변현재 선수가
And
그런 이야기를 했어요.
We were having some great expectation that you will be showing some dominant play
결승
against
또 진출.
Mini,
상황인데 지금 경기 시작하기
it
전에
wasn't working so well for you for that
보면서 하품하고 있습니다.
best of 5, best of 7
경기
series that time.
어떠세요?
And also from the opening show and the key points of between you and Mini,
오,
if you lose against Mini once again, you are gonna let Mini make it into final once again.
온라인
How do you feel about this? And Mini's so Queen said
김명훈 선수의 그 표정이
he's prepared a lot. He kind of learned his lesson from the last season against Mini.
안 무너집니까?
아니 사실 제가 온라인에서도 그렇게 막 많이 밀리진 않거든요. 예,
So he's
근데
saying
한두 번 진 거 가지고
the caster asked
좀
Queen that
억울하게
when they're
된 것
looking
같은데
at
오늘은
those
제가
statistics information
공식
between those two
방송에서
players on
변현재
online
선수
stats
경기 의자를
Swampang
박제하도록
match,
하겠습니다.
네.
it seemed like Queen is still
변현재
on
선수.
favor
네.
playing against Mini,
표정이 너무 좋아요.
but Queen
변현재가.
says, oh,
아니 김명훈만 만났을 뿐인데
it's just
지금 계속
statistics
웃고
information,
있습니다. 웃음이
and
절로나는 그런
he doesn't
상황인가요?
feel like he's losing
그 정도는 아니에요.
too badly against Mini.
8강에서는 명훈이 형을 꼭 만나고 싶어 했거든요.
오.
그냥 불과 한 달 전만 해도 굉장히 못
So asking about
못한다고 생각을 했거든요.
Mini's
근데 최근
opinion.
들어서 갑자기 좀 잘해지더라고요.
오.
So Mini wanted to play against Queen in round of 8,
만났으면 더 좋았을 거리라는.
and he was kind of underestimating
네.
Queen. But all of a sudden, Queen started to become so good in round of 16 and performing such a great games on online as well, on offline as well. So he kind of changed his mind.
근데 솔직히
He's kind of glad that he didn't meet
더 좋았잖아요, 김명훈.
Queen in round of 8.
지금은 이제 최근에 다시 이제 기세가 오르는 모습이라서
네.
저번 시즌만큼은 이제 기세가 없기 때문에
네.
좀 더 좋지 않나 싶어요.
아니 지난 시즌에 기세가 훨씬 더
So
좋았는데
they're pretty much
이번
talking
시즌
about
기세가 났다? 지난 시즌에
confident,
압승을 거뒀잖아요. 그
confidence
이야기는
of this
오늘
ASL
김명훈이
Season 11
무너진다는
and Season
얘긴데요.
12 that
저도 전데
Queen was
낮아졌고,
overly
저보다
cocky,
더
I should
낮았다고
say.
생각을 하거든요.
Like overly
그
cocky that he
저번
will
시즌
beat
저랑
Mini
했을 때
super
4강
easily.
경기가 마지막 전성기 아니었나
네.
싶을 정도로 폭삭
But then now
무너졌는데
he's struggling to
그래서
climb
저는
up
자신
and
있어요, 이제는.
getting his skill back and try to get in shape once again. But Mini still thinks that he will
자, 올라온 그 저그들 중에서
he will easily beat
가장
Queen
강력한 저그
with his best of 7
김명훈이라고
series.
생각하세요?
Okay, so the caster asked
말해서
Mini,
저는 아니라고
do you think
생각해요.
Queen
아니,
is the
그럼 누구?
strongest Zerg?
지금은 이제 원래 김민철
Out of all
선수가
Zerg players?
김민철이고
So Mini says he thought,
졸장이고
in his opinion, he
그
thinks
다음에
Soki is the first and the hero is the second.
오, 예. 그렇다는
And
얘기는 이 저그계에서
Queen is pretty much the third one.
커리어는 굉장히 좋은데
Queen does have
3대장
great career, showing
저 아니
great performance all the time from
생각에
those previous seasons.
그 누구보다 잘한다고 생각해요. 항상 이제 볼 때마다 감탄을 했었거든요.
네.
But from your opinion, you're saying Queen
네.
테란전도 이제 어느
is
정도
not strong to play against you.
오.
토스는 아직 그
So
네.
Mini is
제가 생각할 때는
saying
날카로움이
more
아직
of his
없는 것
opinion,
같아요.
saying that
네, 다른 적에 비해서
네.
날카로움이 좀 부족하지 않나.
other Zerg players show
약간
some
좀 둔탁한 그런 느낌.
네.
그렇다는 얘기는
like confident move with their army and super aggressive.
아니,
But
뭐,
Queen does not
그렇게
seem super
생각할 수도
aggressive
있는데,
compared to the other Zerg
예,
players, so
뭐 오늘부로 제가
he
그
feels
생각을
comfortable when he
바꿔줄
plays against
생각이고요.
Queen.
왜 이렇게 자신감이 넘치는지 모르겠고 예, 변현재
So
선수가
Queen is
또
saying
저런
while
식으로
he's
감안을
listening
하면
to
되게
Mini's
못하더라고요.
Mini's
그래서
word, he
긍정적으로
kind of thinks
생각하려고요.
자, 그러면요.
Mini is underestimating Queen too much.
예, 뭐 어차피 변현재
Queen
선수는
kinda thinks that he will
저
easily
아니면은
win.
항상 다 지던데 그냥 여기서 조용히 저한테 떨어졌으면 좋겠습니다.
네. 조용히
So any last word?
자,
And
그렇다면
Queen said,
변현재 선수도
you lose the other Zerg. You lose the other Zerg.
결승을 가기 위한
Like you couldn't do anything, and I'll make that happen once again for this ASL Season 12 on the offline tournament.
그렇기 때문에
And for
이제
Mini,
상황은 이제 명훈이 형을 제가 잡고
네.
결승까지 올라갈 수 있어요.
알겠습니다.
so Mini is saying
발판이다. 밟고 올라가
It's kinda
발판이라는
like,
얘기 남겼습니다. 과연
another step for Mini
승자가 누가
that he
될지,
needs to
결승에
beat
올라간
Queen
선수가 될지,
to
온라인에
climb up
시전을
into
뛰고
finals, so
갈수록
he will
이번
beat
4강전
Queen and
대결의
show that he will
시작하겠습니다.
try to be in the finalist once again. And thank you for the interview. We'll be starting the round of 4 match 1, Queen versus Mini.
It's interesting to hear that Mini even puts Queen at the third rank, below Sulky and Hero. As a foreigner, I know that the foreigners rate Queen highly, as in being number 1. Oh, we've got another intro.
Yeah, that is a lot of intro.
That's a lot of intros, yes.
Maybe I'll raise up the sound a
변현재
little.
선수가 강력한 A조를 만들었어요.
마의 질럿이 삼각 캐논 편대 만들어 놓고 프로입니다.
짱이 올다크입니다. 올다크. 취재. 이번 시즌 4강에 올라간 유일한 프로토스 변현재 선수입니다. 16강 죽음의 족 그룹 C조의 대결이
기회 나오고 오거든요. 이미 노리고 있었어요.
8강 첫 번째 대결.
한 팀에서 오랫동안 활동을 했었고
와, 스포지 없어졌어요.
스포지 다 잡아먹었고
정말 오랜만에 ASL 사강의 뒤로 김명훈 다시 한번 강력한 우승 후보 3대 우승이 따내고 이번 시즌 4강의 주인공이 됩니다.
I'm waiting. Is there another one? I think we're good.
Nope, we're good.
But yeah, I was surprised to hear Mini say that he ranks Sulky and Hero higher, because foreigners definitely think that Queen's the top Zerg player for sure, 100% of the time. Now I have to say, based on what Mini said, it seems like it's just a stylistic thing. Like, I don't know about you, but there's always somebody there's always someone that just has a stylistic play that you can't beat. For example, in the past, for some reason, I just always struggled to play versus In Control. His Hydra Lurker play was just so unique and so strong to face that I always struggled versus him. So it could be that, I know a lot of my Zerg friends tell me Sulky plays like low econ 2-hatch style versus Protoss. And you heard in the interview that Mini just feels comfortable versus Queen. So it might just be just the style that Queen plays that makes it feel easy for Mini.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that could be the reason Mini is feeling confident to play against Queen here. But, it's always, whenever it's Zerg versus Protoss, always Zerg will have those super strong, confident that they will easily beat Protoss all the time. But, no matter how good you are as Protoss, like playing against Zerg, like you will, if you make a few mistakes and let your guard down, you immediately get like Zergling Rush or Hydra Bust all the time, and it's just gonna be so sad to watch. So Mini needs to be careful of that.
Yeah, and we saw in the highlights actually that Ling Flood at the entrance of Ascension. That was from last season, Mini versus Queen. Barely Mini held on. Like a Zealot popped out a second before the Pylon got taken down. So as you mentioned, yeah, Ling all in, Hydra all in, moves like that can end the game very quickly. And Mini does have to be on his guard. I'm trying to think, like, how many all-ins did we actually see last season versus Mini? We saw the Ling all in. We saw Larva 2-hatch Hydra Mini on Polypoid, if you remember that. And other than that, I think almost every game went to mid or late game.
Yeah, I kind of find Mini's strongest point of the PvZ would be like the mid transition part where Protoss starts to make the third nexus or fourth nexus. Maybe before that, like he just knows how to execute Zerg, like the weaknesses, while Zerg has such a small army and try to pump up lots of drone with 5 to 6 hatchery, and I think Mini is really good at that part.
Yeah, now what I'm going to be looking for is, of course, are we going to see Mini come back with play that he kind of innovated last season with the fast cybernetics? I've been watching more and more streams lately, and I thought more people would be on that fast cybernetics hype train, but actually we see a lot more Forge expands. Do you know the reason why more players are playing actually passive in the early game?
I think Zerg players kind of figured out how to deal with against the super fast cybernetics core. Like, if you ever get to see Protoss is like skipping all those Forge cannon and immediately putting down the cybernetics core and getting all those super early Stargate, and you're also tacking up at the same time, your Spire tag versus opponent's Stargate timing is not going to be ever matched, and you're not going to be able to save any of the overlords. So Zerg players decided to not make the Spire while they're even tacking up with their tag. They just put lots of hatchery and put some Hydralisk each expansion and defend from those Stargate and Corsair harassment, and that kind of helped Zerg a lot there. And there's also one of the reasons, the second reason I can talk about here. From the last season, we have seen lots of high ground at the natural. Like high ground natural, obviously low ground Hydralisk cannot bust the high ground bottom cannon anyways. And also, in the early stages of the game, those 3-4 Zealot can buy some time and delay those Hydralisk or any sort of Zerging attack. So it's just kind of like depending on the maps.
Okay, so you're talking about maps like Revolver, because I know that's a high ground natural. It has double entrance though. Initially when I saw that, I thought, okay, this is going to be a great map for Zerg versus Protoss, but seems like maybe not the case. Now it looks like I'm assuming we should be going into the game momentarily. You can tell by the commentators trying to check exactly what's going on. What did you think about the predictions that we saw earlier? I, of course, was talking about Snow's prediction last season. He got almost every single prediction right, and he says Mini's going to win 4-1.
Who said Mini's going to win 4-1?
Snow.
Snow?
Yeah.
Well, let me think about it. I heard the Revolver. It's just kind of like the opposite. I don't know how I should be calling in English. Like the Terran is favored against Zerg and Protoss is a favorite against Terran. That kind of a triangle shape. It's completely reversed in a Revolver. Like Zerg is literally good against Terran, and also Protoss is gonna be having the favor playing against Zerg. So I'm pretty sure Queen is not gonna be happy to play against Mini on Revolver because of the lots of high ground, and easily take those third expansion as well too.
Well, I know a lot of players in the interviews were talking about if they win game 1, they might end up actually sweeping the series. Maybe not necessarily in today's interviews, but I'm just talking in general. So we'll have to keep an eye on where Revolver places in the map list, because if it's first, and you're telling me that this is the Protoss favorite map, Mini might already be off to the races with an early 1-0 lead. Now remember guys, this is best of 7, it's not best of 5, so there's no vetoes. Everybody's got to play all the maps, and that means they're not going to be able to dodge Lemon.
So I am looking at the map here. I just looked up on an ASL mainstream platform, the announcement. The first map, it is going to be Eclipse.
Okay, so this is a ladder map that's been in the map pool for a long time. It was in ASL last season, so a lot of experience here. And we know that, didn't Mini 2-gate on this map? I think he did, right? And we saw him go for Cannon Rush earlier in this season.
Yes, so I'm looking at these map. I guess we can talk about this map choice by players later once they show it. But I think players having some issues with those equipment or the setting, and I think we're having some delay over here. But once those players are ready to play, we'll be moving in. Yeah, so Revolver. Here's what I see. Mini actually chose Revolver for the third map.
Okay.
And he also pretty much Mini chose 1, 3, 5 map, and he pretty much chose all the great maps for Protoss.
Okay, well tell us, what are the great maps for Protoss? We know Revolver. We know Eclipse is first. What's the 5th one that he picked?
The 5th one is Ascension.
Ascension.
Yeah.
Okay, we've seen some epic games on there, and it does have a lot of that high ground that you were talking about. I'm actually a little bit surprised to hear that that's such Protoss favored, because it has such a wide main. You know, we've seen a lot of interesting play on there, a lot of backstab potential. That means that we've got Goodnight, Lemon. Yeah, oh, do they list what the final map is going to be?
The final map is Lemon. They didn't choose.
Course.
They didn't choose Lemon.
Of course it is. Well, looks like players are going to be ready pretty soon. Music hasn't changed yet, and we haven't gotten the statistics. So, not going to start just yet. Now, I was looking at last season's results between Queen and Mini. I couldn't remember them exactly. Actually, it was a 4-1. So that's a complete domination, pretty much. And then, of course, the finals between Mini and Larva was 4-3. So Mini is really on top of his versus Zerg game these days. I think... What did the fans predict? 67% in favor of Mini versus Queen?
No, 63 and 37% for
63.
Queen. Yeah, 63.
Yeah, so almost 60-40 in favor of Mini. I mean, kind of have to agree with that assessment, because Mini just looks so strong these days. I think there's no doubt in anybody's mind that he's the top Protoss right now.
Yeah, all those I mean, he's the only Protoss who really loves to play against Zerg anyway, so...
Yeah!
I mean, how many games did he play against Zerg?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
So many, especially last season. He played...
Effort, Mini...
Yeah.
Not Mini, that's Protoss. Yeah, he just pretty much beat every Zerg.
I actually have to look at who he played versus last season. Let me see here. He played 0 in Group A. Then he played 0 obviously in the semifinals. Then he played Larva in the finals. And he played versus Miso in Group F in the round of 24. Okay, we are finally ready, I guess. We're not going to get a rundown on those statistics.
So, I think... I'm not sure why the map is not showing. Yeah, the map is not showing for some reason, but I guess we'll just move in. But the first map, it is gonna be played on Eclipse, Queen versus Mini.
So in the top right, our Zerg. It is Queen. And then in the bottom left, we have our Protoss player. You know who it is. It is Mini. I gotta say, Scan, I'm actually hoping we see Proxy double gate because I want to see Mini just start it off with a bang. We already saw him go for a cannon rush, and he did get the spawn of bottom left, which is where he cannon rushed the first, or he spawned at bottom left when we first saw the cannon rush. So Queen, I'm sure, is aware of that. Now, Mini has not sent a probe down to the natural just yet.
I'm looking at carefully how both of the players are mining in. Yeah, Mini has been starting a lot of all those.
Is this one base?
It might be, but we'll look at momentarily. Okay, that's a pylon at the main. That's an interesting play.
Okay. Okay. I've been waiting years for this to actually see a pro player pull out some type of one base play. Of course, all you foreigners out there know about Bonus one base style, but I have not seen a one base play in years. And Queen, he, I guess, is suspecting some early game shenanigans from Mini, so he's going for that 9 pool.
I think the reason for going for the 9 pool would be like forcing Mini to put down the forge at the natural immediately as soon as he gets to see the 9 pool links are coming. But thing is, Mini didn't make the gateway at the natural. He built that, he warped that gateway at the main base, so he's not gonna be having any trouble. But is that another gateway at the main?
Okay, 2 gate, 1 base play. You know, there's a lot of variations you can do with the 1 base. You can go tech, you can go for this 2 gate, you can 2 gate expand. We'll see what he wants to do with this, but so far, this seems like a good opener for Mini. Meanwhile,
I also have to agree with your what you just said, because 9 pool is completely low eco playstyle. You have literally 9 drum mining at the mineral, and that hatchery is so delayed, like 9-10 seconds. 2 minutes 10 seconds I meant.
Yeah, and we see that hatchery at top middle is going to be placed, and it is going to be way far away, obviously, from the main. So these initial zealots out of the 2 gate production. Oh, he's going to sneak around the right side, and he knows the Overlord timing. Look at this.
Wow.
So slick. Able to not get scouted. And these lings are all the way across the map, Scan. If a zealot just walks by into the main with the probe, he could get multiple drone kills. But looks like zealots are not going to be on the ramp just yet. First one pops out. Second, oh my gosh, this timing is crazy.
I think Mini pretty much calculated every single of like the Zergling movement of the like how long it's gonna be taking to send that 6 Zergling from the main base to his main base. And remember, it wasn't 10 gate, it was 9-11. 9-11 double gate. And yeah, now Queen is a little bit of a trouble here because he was morphing more of drones. And now, yeah, he has to sack his drone.
Yeah, he's got to sack his drone. He built drones because he didn't think a zealot was out. And now, okay, well, that was a good pick off there, obviously. He gets the drone or gets the probe, but he forced the sunken. That's a loss. Okay, canceled. Now, this is what I was talking about. Those lings cannot help save the 3rd base. It's so far away. Look at this control on the zealot, but look at the matching control on the drones. Nicely done. However, now there's going to be 4 zealots at top middle. He can put 2 zealots on hold position on the ramp, and 2 can just attack that hatchery.
I mean, I'm trying to understand why Queen sent that first overlord towards the 9 o'clock and not really pay attention where the zealots are moving out. And now, I mean, having that hatchery at the 12 o'clock side just way too far away from the main base, and now these additional zealots pretty much having the wall at the ramp, and that hatchery is completely vulnerable. He can't really do anything.
Alright, well, I think this game might already just be completely turned on its head because more zealots are streaming out, and Queen really doesn't have anything going for him. He's about to be on 1 hatch production with speed. That's it. So as long as Mini hold position, zealots and probes on his ramp, this is his game to take.
Yeah, now 4 zealots are... Wow, it just got out. I mean, why did you let those zealots move out and your Zerglings are now trapped? This is just kind of like looking at a UMS where you block your ramp when there's a Zergling flood is coming, and that's what's just happening. What is Quinn actually doing? Like, he doesn't have any larva advantage and can't really do anything. He's just right now stuck with only 1 hatchery.
It's 7 zealots in his base, 6 zealots. He's just gonna focus the hatch. He can't stop it. He can't drill either. He doesn't have anything to drill on. I guess bottom middle, and that's it. He's gonna force the fight right here. But these Zealots are just so strong. Now he's moving into that sweet spot behind the mineral line. Oh my gosh. If he kills the spawning pool, this game's done.
I can't believe.
Look at this.
I can't believe it.
Are you... Look at this! 2 Zealots on the bottom side, 2 Zealots at the top side, 1 Zealot attacking the pool, and he's got more Zealots coming in through the bottom. He's gonna focus the pool scan, and this game is moments from being over. He can't build anything.
I cannot believe this is like a pro level of mind game between these two players. Like, I mean, if it's just like a ladder game, it should be so easy to defend, but this mind game of these two pro level players, oh, it's just absolutely blowing up my mind.
Like, if you didn't know, or if you never watched Queen before, you would look at this game and be like, well, this is a complete mismatch. This was just obliteration. He can't keep up with Mini at all. Now, actually, it looks like, okay, there's the Robo. I was like, does he really only have a Cybernetics and that's it? But he did power with that Robo, and he's got the first couple goons moving out.
Yeah, and this is the bad part about playing Zerg, where you're lacking with larva. Like you gotta use the larvae wisely, and so you can have the advantage in Zerg versus Terran or Zerg versus Protoss. But oh, you know how Protoss can just make workers from Nexus and only army from the gateway, but Zerg can't. Zerg cannot make army and workers at the same time. They have to be either making all the workers or everything army.
Well, I thought that this game might just be completely over, but the more I keep looking at the Nexus and seeing it not building probes, the more worried I am. However, supplies is still ridiculously in favor of Mini, of course. It's 40-18. But with third hatch coming up, if by some miracle he can kill this Reaver, I guess it could go into the mid game. It would be 2 base Zerg with 3 hatches versus single base Protoss, but here comes that move out. Zealot or Reaver does now pop out, and now how's he ever gonna kill this Reaver?
Nothing. Only all the units he right now he has is just pure Zergling, and Zergling's going for the backstab. Not gonna be working against these high ground. Oh, letting that Zergling sneak. He just let those Zergling in. That's a big mistake. Okay, first mistake just came out.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of probes here, so every probe does matter a lot. And you can see that Nexus is still not building any probes. Goons are way too far forward, not going to get picked off. Reaver does show itself, of course, and those Lings are trying to do work, but unfortunately, there's just so much at his main right now. Oh, from downtown, the Steph Curry shot, but goodbye, Sunken. Reaver's going to micro and try and help this army, and it does. And there's just nothing here. There's no Hydrogen. Queen taps out, and nicely done. A play we have not seen, I'm going to say, in at least 15 years. Mini pulls out a victory with it.
Yeah, that was super unpredictable by Mini, like going for main base to gateway. And I think Queen wanted to snipe Mini's natural gateway, or maybe even try to ruin some of the tempo, like sneaking some Zergling inside of the main base and picking up some probes with the 9-pole Lings. But Mini didn't build a gateway at the natural that game.
Yeah, it just completely caught Queen off guard. I was super shocked that when he saw the 2 Zealots pop out and get on the ramp, that he really thought it was just the initial 2 Zealots, because it seemed obvious that there had to be one out on the map, but maybe he didn't get a glimpse of that first one moving on the ramp, and unfortunately that one Zealot snowballed the game ridiculously hard. This is why we like watching Mini, because he's got all types of play, and now Zero's got to be really worried, or Queen's got to be very worried about future games, because this guy can pull out anything.
Well, while watching that game number 1, kinda makes me to think of a 9 hatch build. Like, you know, 12 hatcher is dangerous against 2 gateway, early 2 gateway hardcore Zealot pressure and defending it with 12 hatchery. I know it is definitely hard, but how about if Queen goes for 9 hatch?
Yeah, I mean, he could, right? Soma has been experimenting with all types of hatch timings. I haven't watched queen recently, so I'm not sure if he does that. Does he do moves like that?
No, I don't think so.
He's in trouble then, I guess. I actually think. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it might be better to see like some kind of a mixture with the 9 hatchery or 11 hatchery, even 10 hatchery, like all sort of like weird hatchery timing. But I guess we'll be coming back soon after this commercial break.
스타크래프트 리마스터, 오버워치, 배틀
We are back, guys. We just saw mini.
ASL 시즌12
텀블러
4강 첫
밴.
번째 경기 김명훈 선수와 변현재 선수의 리턴 매치 첫 번째 세트의 승자는 변현재에서
Oh, the first game between Mini versus Queen. It's just kind of like a revenge match for Queen, but Queen couldn't beat Mini from the game number 1 because it was kind of like unpredictable one base playstyle from Mini. She's talking about the event, but it's not showing on our Clean feed screen. So I think some guy who's working on the Clean feed messed up something on there. So she is pretty much talking about the ASL event. They're also selling ASL jersey shirt on Africa shop. So if you want to buy one, you gotta go to Africa shop and take a look and buy one.
기다리셨을 소식입니다. 11월 7일 일요일 오후 6시에 아프리카 프리컵 스튜디오에서 펼쳐지는 ASL 시즌 12의 결승전
So she's also mentioning about the ASL Season 12 final. It is going to be cast at 6 p.m. I think that's what I heard.
오실 수는 없지만 11월 4일 오후 4시부터 60석의 좌석을 판매할 예정입니다.
So she is saying she will be selling, Africa will be selling 60 seats for the ASL Season 12 final.
자, 지난 시즌 4강 리턴 매치로 펼쳐지는 ASL 시즌12 4강 첫 경기 변현재 선수가 지난 시즌에 이어 다시 한번 승리를 거두고 결승에 오를지
once again,
아니면 김명훈 선수가
Mini start off with the 1-0 in the beginning, just like last season. And the score right now it's 1-0, but we'll be moving into game number 2. It's going to be played on Largo.
All right, Largo coming up, and you were mentioning that this is Queen's pick. The thing that, of course, stands out to me in Largo is just huge center of the map areas for flanking. You can, also third base is a mineral only, right? So that's not exactly the base that Mini wants to take, but yeah, just completely wide open center, and we should have a lot of big fights out in the middle of the map.
So yeah, Largo. I heard from a lot of players saying that it's kind of like favorite towards the Zerg if it's a Zerg versus Protoss, because we have seen Best was struggling to play against 815 that time, and he was pretty much got Lurker contained.
Yeah, that is true. We're going into game 2, guys. Queen already down 1-0. Mini looking to increase his lead to 2-0. Okay, in the top left, it is our Zerg player, it is Queen. And of course, in the bottom right, in the blue, pulling out a playbook, or a play from the 2001 playbook, it is Mini. Now we've got diagonal spawns. How's this play out?
Well, I think it's just gonna be based on skill match. And here's something that I was talking about on our Toasted stream on Friday. Like the mining pathing is just completely weird. You gotta remember like the vertical line and horizontal line. And if you look at Mini's main base, look at the main base. Mini is mining the second and the third one because they can actually have those mining boosts there. So yeah, Mini is pretty much working on the optimization, try to get this pylon. And I feel like this is going to be the 9 gate. Oh, never mind, it's a pylon scout.
Yeah, he is going to scout, and that generally means that this is going to be a forge expand, but we could see another probe move down. Now he's not going to find Queen in the bottom left position. This was an interesting scout. I wonder if he'll... Okay, he is just going to go for a diagonal scout, and this actually will be gateway expand because probe instantly comes down and builds that gateway.
Just by looking at the gateway placement, maybe he could have put it one pixel above, but I guess he will just put that gateway over there. But he's just gonna be searching all those horizontal and vertical, like to see whether Wobbler was coming. And since Wobbler was not coming from the 7 o'clock, he's guessing 1 o'clock.
Is this double gate? Okay, look at this. I think that probe went down, and if he saw Zerg was at top right, he may have built a second gate. Because that probe went down looking like it was actually going to do that. So that might have been the reason that he went for this pylon scout. And funny enough, before the game started, when you were talking about how Queen doesn't go for the weird like 9 hatch, 10 hatch style, instantly I thought in my mind, well, why not 2-gate again? So that might have been on Mini's mind too. We see that we're not going to see the 2-gate because he doesn't find him at the close position, and this is just going to be a normal game.
Yeah, so Mini is just most likely gonna be staying on the 1 gateway, but I'm looking at the supply count. I'm pretty sure he queued up the 1 Zealot in the beginning, but okay, he's just gonna go for 15 Nexus, like 1 Zealot into 15 Nexus. I never have seen this before.
Well, did he even build a Zealot?
Maybe it's not.
I'm not even sure he built a Zealot. I think he was building it like you said, saw that it's cross spawn and thought, nah, I don't think I'll get there in time and deal damage. Actually, I think we are going to see the fast cybernetics that is natural in a second. Maybe not though, but we do see that the probe confirms 3rd base at that mineral only. And there's the gas. Yeah, so I think that this is going to be reminiscent of what we saw in Season 11 with that fast cybernetics follow-up.
Seems unusual, but I'm trying to look at this carefully, whether he's going to build a forge at the main. Here's some of changes what I have seen of PvZ, where you build a forge at the main and you build a cybernetics core at the natural. And yeah, so this is what's going to be happening. Yeah, forge at the main, and pretending that, hey, you don't know my forge timing. You don't know whether I'm getting the +1 or not whatnot. So that means when that first overlord comes at the 5 o'clock natural, all Queen's gonna be getting the intel would be like the cybernetics timing. But cybernetics timing is not necessary to know. But looking at the forge and how much of or how fast or slow of the +1 attack is, it kind of helps Zerg to optimize whether they gotta put down the sunken or eat up the zealot with just pure Zergling. And this is the case right now. He doesn't know the forge is, the forge was already spinning, but he doesn't get to see it.
Alright, well this is a sneaky move with the forge. I have to say that it looked like the +1 started maybe 340-ish. So that puts it at about a +1 timing at 630. And I think we saw this last season, that there were move outs happening out on the map at around the 6-minute 630 mark. And this may catch Zero or Queen off guard, because the typical move out timing with Zealots and +1 is around the 7-minute 7:15 mark, and this is going to hit 30 to 40 seconds faster. Now you see Stargate going down at the main, so everything looks pretty normal from Mini, and meanwhile Lair's about to complete and he's going to build that Spire. But again, that Stargate pretty darn fast, and I think that's a dead Overlord in just a second. Wow, 445 Citadel follow-up too.
I am not happy where Queen decided to put that 3rd hatchery at the mineral expansion, because he could have put that 3rd hatchery at the 9 o'clock so he can have more mineral field. Like, the mineral expansion has only 6 mineral fields, but if you take 9 o'clock, there's 7 mineral fields with Vespene Geyser. That means you can also go for some sort of like a sunken Muta Scourgeman, or like how Hero usually does.
Well, we'll see if that 3rd base is going to backfire. The move out is going to happen in about a minute or so. Zealots take, what, 25 seconds to build, so 2 or 3 more are going to pop out, and then I expect him to move out on the map. And there's no Templar Archive follow-up, so this is intending to just be a 1-base rallied Zealot with fast speed and fast +1 weapon, and try and hit before anything can come out for Queen. Now, I only see 1 Corsair, and it actually missed that Overlord, so I'm a bit surprised that he's not supply blocking Queen.
Well, here's something that I would like to talk about. Since now Mini is going to be confirming the natural, and the natural extractor is already started. Like, he's already mining the 2nd gas. So that's just pretty much giving Mini some intel that this has to be the Muta follow-up, because he didn't get to see any of Hydralisk then. But 2nd gas already started. That means Muta should be coming out momentarily.
Yep, and there's that move out as I was talking about. It is only 5, but you can see an additional Zealot is coming, so it's going to be 6 with +1. +1's like 10 seconds away from kicking in. And that Overlord did pop, which means Queen does not have that much available supply. Speed's going to kick in any moment now too, so this is a dangerous situation, but for now the SimCity looks pretty good, and with a couple Mutas out, I think he will be able to hold. There's that +1 as I was mentioning, and yeah, these Mutas are actually going to hold versus these Zealots.
Yeah, those Mutas will be chasing down those Zealots, but I'm not sure whether... Okay, the Zealot speed just now finishes, so that's a good sign for Mini that he will be saving some Zealot and go back home. Finally adding some photon cannon at the net and maybe also at the main base as well. That's a weird cannon placement, I would say.
That is very weird. As an observer, it looks like that this Zealot move out didn't do any damage, but you have to remember, guys, this is larva that could have been drones. So in the end, it does actually do damage because it forces out a bit of units from Queen instead of allowing him to power. But as I say, that looks like he's got his third main and natural already saturated. And now Minnie's gonna start transitioning, but that Templar Archive is super late.
Well, Mini knows that there are Mutalisks are out, so he needs to be wait until the 6th Corsair. And it's like a magic number that you have to wait until 6th Corsair with the +1, and that's the time for products to go. And I think that's what Mini is right now calculating. And I'm pretty sure that should be another Corsair just popped out. Should be 6th Corsair, and yeah, he's trying to get some position ready and try to clear some vision and pick up some Zergling here and there and try to move out here.
Yep, and even though those Sairs were way out of position relative to the Mutas, Queen was not able to pick off any of the Zealots that were out in the center of the map. Now, this is an interesting move. He is looking like he wants to backstab the natural, but somehow Mini suspects this. Look at this, he's looking all over the map for it, but he's not going to find it, and these 5 Mutas may actually be able to kill a couple of probes. No, actually, they're just going to back off for now.
Yeah, both of the players are trying to do some mind game and try to see whether they can go for the backstab or not. But I feel like Mini is making too many Corsairs right now, because you know she should be also knowing Zerg does not have third gas available, so he's not gonna be going for heavy Mutalisks with this only 2 gas only. He should be knowing the Hydralisk switch should be coming momentarily, and there's a single high temp which just now came out, but Storm is not available at this time, I would say.
Yeah, normally I would be worried for Mini, but his +1 armor is about to kick in. It makes me a little bit more confident in his play. But yeah, the lack of Storm is really going to hurt. And look, he doesn't even have the energy for it. But of course, Queen doesn't know that, so he is just going to sit here for now. He may be able to pick off that gateway. I did notice Mini has ramped up his gateway production in his main pretty fast. There's like 5 or 6 there. So he's still going to have a lot of production. And I think he already completed range. Maybe not. I mean, that's a long upgrade.
Yeah, normally you do not get the range upgrade before robotic facility. So I would say the range upgrade for products is not done. And Queen should be having that range upgrade. But I think now Mini has the +1 armor and he's moving out at this 9 minutes 50 seconds. Ooh, Adun Tori that's picking up 1 drone at the 9 o'clock. That's so good. Denying all those additional expansion right now here. Queen wants to take.
Yep, and the DT kills a Hydra and runs away. Now these Zealots are very isolated, and I think that these are all going to fall. The Corsairs are fighting an Overlord, and yeah, he kills an Overlord, but a lot of the Zealots took a ton of damage. And now, oh, actually the Cybernetics ended up surviving, so he will be able to transition into the Goons. But look at the supply. Queen has done a really good job to keep up in supply, and also in the upgrades.
Yeah, now those number of Corsairs will be picking up Mutalisks 1 by 1, but I mean, Zealots, I feel like the Zealot... Well, I know Zealots are really strong, but I mean, taking so much of damage like that with mass Hydralisk... I mean, if he does not keep up the Zealot count, he cannot change... he cannot switch to Gun.
Yeah, this felt like an overextension there, and now you can see Queen, he's going to try and capitalize on this. He's moving across the map extremely fast. He thinks that there might be a third base. Of course, we see there is none. But his supply is very high relative to Mini's. It's 110 to 120. And we still haven't seen a single Storm. Those are isolated Templars. That's a great reaction. But 1 Templar does fall.
Well, maybe it could have been an even trade. But now Corsairs are trying to go back home. I feel like Mini can move out soon. But, I mean, the Zealots are out of position here. Maybe he might go for the backstab. But if the backstab doesn't work and does not take down the hatchery on time, I mean, those Zealots will be sacrificed for nothing.
I think this is a great move right here because he can easily hold this attack with Goon Templar, and he's going to focus down that hatchery. He's branching off a couple of the Zealots to try and kill the Hydra. Look at this drone drill saving the day. The hatchery might actually not die because of that. And you can see Mini's desperate. He's trying to focus everything onto it. Will it survive? No, just barely gets taken down.
Yeah, now Queen with those a lot of drone. He wanted to saturate that 4th base, but now this is gonna be the great time for Mini to move out and slowly taking that mineral expansion. But let's see up the zealot count. The zealot count, I would say it's still low. Mini needs to be squeezing maybe one more round of zealot products from those 8 gateway from the main base and slowly take the mineral expansion. Okay, he does have enough money. Maybe he's feeling confident to take it now.
Well, his +2 weapon should be kicking in any moment now, and he's going to have upgrade advantage over Queen. That's, of course, assuming he nailed his upgrade timing. We can see Queen is still stuck at +1 weapon, and Overlords are going to get crushed, and that is going to supply block Queen. And actually, there's a lot of Overlords out of position. He's going to try and move into an attack right now. But remember, these Templars have almost full energy. There's so many storms available. Great storms. But there's a lot of Hydras on the backside, too.
Well, I would like to see the Protoss upgrade. I know it's +1 armor, but is he going to be getting +2 attack or +2? Okay, he doesn't have either of them, so the upgrade advantage for Queen, and yeah, this mass Hydralisk is just absolutely dominating all this gun.
Oh my gosh, the +2 power spike kicked in for the Zerg. He even caught a Templar before it could cast that storm. He was mid-air casting it, and the entire Protoss army gets wiped off the map. And it was 140 to 110 a minute ago, and now it's just GG. Mini taps out, and Queen with an insane Hydra timing right before +2 kicks in.
Yeah, it seems like he miscalculated of upgrade timing, I would say. I mean, normally you should be having that +2 armor or even +2 attack at 12-minute mark for Protoss, but Mini didn't have that upgrade on time, and he was struggling to defend those mineral expansion.
Yeah, he missed it. Remember, his +1 started at 340, and then those are about 245 each, so you're looking at 530 from when that started. Puts you at about 910, something like that. So he should have had it for that attack, but looks like he mismanaged the upgrade. But we do have to say that he did bleed off a lot of Zealots, and that would have helped him a lot in that final engagement. But it is what it is. Queen takes a victory there, and he has evened up the score 1-1. And it's crucial for him because remember, the next pick is Mini's pick, and it's Revolver, which you're telling me is highly favored for Protoss.
Yeah, Revolver, it's completely opposite compared to Largo. Largo is so good to play against Protoss if you're a Zerg, but it's completely opposite for Revolver. And so Mini is the one chose that map, so he should be feeling confident, and he might be maybe abuse those high ground and slowly maybe even take that 30 expansion much faster than the usual.
Yeah, he may do that. I mean, this last game we just saw, the third base was pretty slow, just because of how the game was flowing. But yeah, nicely done from Queen there. I was very worried, especially after he got his 4th base picked off, and because we saw how streamlined the initial +1 attack was. I thought Mini was going to do more damage than he did, but Queen with the Muta is able to shut it down completely. Where do you think it went wrong for Mini? Was it simply the upgrades? Did he overextend with his Zealots?
I think he was pretty much lacking with the Zealot count. I mean, Guns are pretty good units too, but I mean, if you're gonna be sacrificing like 10 Zealot at the 9 o'clock side, I feel like Mini should be getting maybe one round of more Zealot production from those 8 gateway. But okay, now I think clean feed is somewhat fixed here. We can see the map choice by players. Revolver for the 3rd. So Mini versus Queen. Revolver starting soon.
Okay, guys, in the bottom left, our Zerg. It is Queen. And again, spawning in the opposite direction, we've got Mini. So again, another diagonal game. I wonder if we will see that fast scout pattern that we just saw on Largo, and if we will actually see. Well, we're not. Oh, whoa! Is this a 5 pool? Okay, Scan.
Whoa.
Talk to me about 5 pool in CVP.
Well, I don't know about this. Maybe Queen practiced some games against lots of Protoss practice partners, and probably things weren't working so well because, like I said, it's kind of like a leaning force to Protoss favor in this typical map on Revolver. So now Queen is the one who's gonna be taking a risk and going for the 5-pull here, and Mini is gonna go for the pylon at the natural.
Yeah, so we have to see if this is going to be Gateway Expand or Forge Expand. Now, unlike other early pool build, well, I guess the only other earlier one is the 4-pull. Unlike the 4-pull, this can be transitioned into a macro game. This is actually my go-to build in ZVP because of how well it transitions. However, because of how good Protoss players have gotten with their Zealot micro, it is hard to end up taking down a gateway opener. Now, luckily for Queen in this scenario, I think we may see... Oh, Mini's actually going to scout to the left side, and he will find him in the second position.
Yeah, so Mini... I'm glad that Mini has gone for the Forge build here, and... Okay, he will be checking the natural at the 7 o'clock side, but this is gonna give him some intel. When that probe comes in, goes in, he's just gonna be seeing those 6 Zerglings are popping out, and he needs to be thinking immediately, oh, that's a gas trig at the natural.
Okay, he needs to buy up as much time as possible because he just... Whoa, wait. He is giving up his natural. Now, this is what you do when you realize you cannot hold it, is you build a pylon in your main, build cannons in your main, and try and survive that way. But a probe is... Oh, we have to remember that Mini or Queen doesn't know exactly where Mini is. So I don't know if this probe is trying to bait Queen into going to the wrong direction or what this is doing, or if it's just going to scout.
So yeah, I mean, we know Queen didn't do... I mean, if you're doing the 9-pull, 5-pull, you gotta do the drone scout as well. But he wasn't doing the drone scout because he wanted to deny that probe scout as much as he can. But that didn't work out so well, and it's cross-spawn. Photon cannon gotta drill the drone, gotta drill the probe, but a few lings are... He messed it up!
Oh my gosh, he messed it up, and the reason that probe went out on the map is because it went to his main to try and drill onto onto Queen's main so he could surround that cannon. But as played, the cannon falls, and now there's 4 lings in his base, and this pylon may actually die. Well, that's another great drill.
I cannot understand why he decided to put the cannon like under the Nexus.
Well, wait a minute, Scan. Like, okay. There we go. Well, there's a hatchery. I'm watching and I'm like, there's more lings coming out. This is not drones. And there hasn't been that many probes to fall. I think that's the second one so far, and that's it.
Okay, maybe this game might be still playable for Mini because additional Zerglings weren't actually coming because Queen was making more drones from the main base. And the Forge wasn't even taken down. I mean, normally you want to take down the Forge, but Queen didn't take down the Forge. So now this is going to help Mini to keep up the game here because the Forge will buy some time, and even he's adding another pylon.
Yeah, I mean, losing the Forge or not losing the Forge is a big deal, and also not losing the second pylon at the natural is a big deal. I mean, he's not supply blocked. He loses a third probe there. That hurts. But other than that, I think Mini has recovered from losing that cannon almost, you know, for free. Oh, he catches the lings. He's going to lose another probe, though, and there's 2 that are dangerously low, but that was a nice catch.
Okay, so I think this is kind of like replay from game number 1 on Eclipse, like 1 base play versus 2 base, but now it's kind of like secure 2 base, I would say. But Queen is on a okay position here too, but we know he's lacking with the worker count. He gotta do something with the Zerg. Okay, maybe he's not lacking too much with the worker count, but you know, the Zealot flood is gonna be coming momentarily. 5 Zealot, 6 Zealot, or maybe even 7 Zealot should be coming momentarily.
Yeah, but these lings who initially got like 2 kills have now ramped up to like 5 or 6 kills. So this, what I thought was kind of a failed attack here, has definitely ramped up in favor of Queen. Now, of course, Mini's moving out with 5 Zealots, and this is going to be a lot to handle. But he's got the additional hatchery up, he's got larva available, he's got his sunken set up, and wow, he's confident that this cannot be busted. Ends up building drones from there, and actually the lair's already done, so Spire is going to be coming soon. Well, or not already done, it's morphing, sorry.
Well, even if the lair is done, I think it's still okay for Mini because it's not 3 hatch lair. It's just completely 2 hatch lair. So we know that Queen is gonna be lacking with the larvae and not gonna be having much of a drone as well. It's gonna be pretty much on low eco playstyle here, while Mini has double nexus and also taking a natural. So even if Mini is behind with the tech, he can still catch up with a bunch of having better eco than Queen here. But I think Queen is about to move out with the 7 Zealot, or he's just gonna be like look at how much of a Zerglings are standing at the net.
Well, there's 7 Zealots at Queen's base, and there's 2 more Zealots coming. That's going to be a total of 9, and that's a lot of Zealots to deal with. He may have enough to actually bust this. We'll see how he manages his Zealots versus these Lings and Sunken. So far, 1 Zealot is going to die. Got no damage done. Didn't even attack the Sunken or Ling once. Uh-oh. Did he find a hole at the bottom?
Yeah, there is a hole. So there's a 1 lucky hole that Mini just found. We'll be sitting there, and I guess he'll just leave a couple of the Zerglings at the natural and try to buy some time there and go for the backstab here. And Mini doesn't know what's actually happening. Okay, Mini is actually guessing here. He's kind of like expecting that it has to be the 2 hatch there. I mean, he saw Zergling speed was done. Oh, never mind. The Zergling speed is not done. Never mind. Okay, I'm wrong about this.
Well, this is an interesting situation because remember the gateways are in the main. That means that the cannon is completely isolated. If Lings were to get into the natural somehow, they could bust it in an instant. And I'm getting a little worried because a Ling Muta combo would actually be quite devastating. And those Zealots are way across the map, and Mutas are about to pop out. I guess he realizes Spire is probably going to finish soon, so he's going to try and do something, but maybe not.
Yeah, those 6 Zealots are about. I think he might saw it. Yeah, he saw it. He knows what's coming. Like, this is the only possibility that Queen actually do. I mean, no Hydralisk whatsoever, and your Zergling is not eating up my Zergling Zealots with the Zergling. So he's just immediately putting down more of a cannons at the main base and on the natural here, and those 6 Zealots survived and actually hurting Queen's natural here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's a drone round, but he is going to send the Lings back to come and help save the day. But this is not actually the greatest comp for Queen because this is double Stargate versus double Gate with mass Zealots coming out. Here comes Queen into the main. Ooh. He's going to try and fight here. Now he sees double Stargate. He's not happy about this.
Oh, look at the Corsair micro. I think Mini is trying to do that the Valkyrie backshot micro with the Corsair. You can actually do the same way. Oh, the Zealot still survived.
Gosh. Yeah, Zealot racked up a few more kills, and it's gonna start getting ugly for Queen because, as you mentioned, it wasn't 3 hatch. Double Hydrodin. I think Queen has kind of lost his tempo in this game. And look at the drone, is even not mining at the natural. He just doesn't have anything. He doesn't have any larvae. He doesn't have the 3 hatch. He doesn't have really anything going for him anymore.
Yeah, Mini is on point of this game, but I'm not sure whether having that many Corsair would be so effective because it was only a single gas Mutalisk. I know it is great to have lots of Corsair and picking up, like countering against the Muta, but he has seen there's no second gas at the net, so he should be knowing something should be coming up next 1 minute or so. But okay, he's getting the +1 attack. Oh, he's switching to Gun.
Yeah, well, I mean, Goon's on a high ground versus whether it's Lings or Hydras coming from the low ground. I mean, they're going to have a field day. But Sayers are out on the map, and is that an Overlord? Okay, well, that's a dead Overlord. Every single Overlord matters so much to Queen because this is the Hail Mary. He gets supply blocked, which means he's not going to have those resources. Oh, actually, do you think this could be Lurkers? No, he wouldn't have double Hydrogen for that.
Well, we know the +1 Zealot is already done. The number of Corsair is about like 6 to 8. That's great, but he should be realizing he's not actually saving those Mutalisk. He's sacrificing it. So yeah, Mini should not be making more of a Corsair from now on. And he kind of needs to switch to something else. Oh, he's adding more cannon.
Yeah, he suspects something, and he's just going to start building some more cannons. But I don't think that there's just enough Hydras here. The supply block really hurt. If he could have gotten out 6 more Hydras, maybe I'd be a believer. But as played, whoa, that's a surprisingly high amount of Hydras. Here we go. Probes are being pulled. He knows this is it. This is the last-ditch effort from Queen. He's perma supply block. Zealots are trying to engage the Hydras. That's a great drill onto that mineral. And Mini is easily going to hold this. He buys enough time to get his cannons up.
So I guess I can start to understand why map makers decided to put that mineral field on at that side. So the whoever is defending the rush, you just click that mineral to defend.
Yeah, that was brilliantly done by Mini. And now Queen has nothing left other than these, 8 or so Hydras that are out in the outside of the natural. He's permanently supply blocked just now, not being supply blocked, and there's still 8 Corsairs in the air.
Yeah, it is also double supply compared to Queen. 32 versus 64. Doesn't look that great for Queen, but if he makes something, a miracle happens and take down all the cannon and all the units and bust the natural, but I don't think it's gonna be happening because the number of Corsairs is just way too many. I think he's just gonna be sniping the Ovaler and go for the kill. He's gonna be changing into a Lurker bust.
Yeah, I think that's all he can really do. And Lurkers do have a lot of DPS, but he sees that it's Lurkers. Now, he does need to make sure he has enough cannons. He should build a couple more. Yeah, there we go. He's going to build a couple. Okay, he did not start Robo. So for now, I mean, the game is going to keep going, but we can see that Queen is just continuing to build units nonstop. Oh, there was the move. He kills the Overlord, and now the DT comes in.
Ooh.
He's killing his own Hydra trying to catch it.
Wow, he got it.
He got it. I can't believe it. I thought he was going to kill all of his Hydras.
Well,
there's
2 more DT just came out, and these Corsair DT. Is it gonna be Ransack instead of Maze?
Oh my gosh, this is something you see on the ladder. I didn't know we were gonna see it in a pro game, but he does manage to get a Lurker into the main, and it is outside of the cannon range. But it doesn't matter. Queen taps out.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That was great mind games by 2 players. I mean, like every time Queen is deciding to do something, like let's say he wanted to go for 9-pull first, main base gateway. Okay, I'm gonna go in the 5-pull. Forge at the natural. Like he literally read what Queen was doing every single game there.
Yeah, and Mini is just playing phenomenally, and you can tell from the reaction from Queen's face. I think he's a bit flustered about how that game went. And Mini is in the driver's seat. When you see a player running into 6 cannons with just, 4 or 5 Lurkers and a handful of Hydras, you know that they are desperate. So game 4, momentum heavily in favor of Mini, I would say. What's map 4 going to be?
It is chosen by Queen, and it is Polypoid.
Okay, so Polypoid. Okay, this time around we're going to be going into a break, but we'll be back soon, guys. Stick around. We've got game 4 coming up. Oh, hot 6.
Hot 6 it is.
Of course, we got the hot 6. The hot 6 ended up going off sale at my convenience store, so I missed the buy one get one there. But
a bunch of hot 6 here. What right now we're seeing. I think I said I liked the teal one. The taste was great. I think it's
what's that one? Rush.
Rush, yeah.
Yeah, Rush. We've got Rush playing in the round of 4 on Tuesday. He's going to be going up against Hero. That should be another exciting match. But Game 3, where did it go wrong for Zero? Because the 5-pull looked like it did a decent amount of damage. And the Zealot attack, I mean, it didn't do any damage to the natural for a long time. Did he just overbuild Lings?
I would say he should have not made additional drone. I mean, he should have just constantly going for more Zerglin production and try to see whether he can actually take down the cannon or whatnot, and decide whether he wants to make more drone after all. But things wasn't working out so well. I mean, he took down the cannon, but no additional Zerglings were coming.
Yeah, when I saw the cannon die, I thought, okay, well, this is it, because Lings are going to kill the Forge, kill the Pylon at the natural, and that never happened. I was surprised that he was not able to kill any of the buildings. Now, he did kill a lot of probes overall. It was like 6, but still not enough damage. Mini survived that, or handled that pretty much perfectly. A lot of players, my opinion here, is I think they go into 3 hutch play after a 5 pull, so I was a bit surprised to see the fast lair. But yeah, I don't know. It just didn't work out. Okay, we're going to be going into the break. Alright guys, we are back. We just saw Mini hold off the 5-pool onslaught of Queen. Now we're going to be going into Game 4. Currently it's a 2-1 lead for Mini. However, we've got Queen's map pick coming up.
Yeah, the map that is gonna be chosen on Point. I think both of the players have played a lot of games on their end. Last time, Mini was moving out without the Stargate, with the pure speed Zala, but he showed us the surprisingly like having lots of Corsair with the double Stargate after the Zala pressure. I wonder if that's gonna ever happen once again.
Yeah, we'll see if that will happen again. Remember, ASL 11, this was the map where Mini pulled out the new fast textile and completely obliterated Queen on this particular map. So you know, out of all the maps, Queen definitely wants to get revenge here. Players are ready, guys. We're going to be going into Game 4 momentarily. Mini, if he wins here, he's going to be up 3-1 on match point. Let's see if Queen can tie it up. Man, diagonal spawns all day long. In the bottom right are blue Zerg. It is Queen. And then in top left, it is Mini. And I have to say, Scan, last season, this was the exact same spawns, exact same map.
Oh, that is definitely right. I wonder if he's gonna be doing that blind, the blind play, like not even going for the scout after the gateway. I wonder if Mini's gonna be doing that once again. And since Queen made a mistake from the last game, he should be feeling a little bit of worry for this game, because you will never know what Mini's exactly gonna be doing every single next game. So let's see.
I actually wanted to see Mini go for middle of the map double gate, because I think this is 100% of the time going to be a 12 hatch. We'll see if Queen will mix it up, but I don't think we've seen Zerg players consistently open with early pool. They seem to alternate quite a bit, so that's the main reason that I wanted to see that. But so far, we're not going to see the double gate in the center of the map. We'll see if he can find this Overlord quickly and make a determination on what he wants to do. And as I stated, this is most likely going to be a 12 hatch opener from Queen.
Wow, is he planning to go for a cannon rush? This is what I'm feeling like. Last game, or I should say, what game was it? On Largo, he was checking those 3 o'clock, or I should say the 6 o'clock from on Largo, and see whether the Overlord was coming or what not. And he's not doing that this time. He's just gonna be literally going for 11 Forge, and directly checking 1 o'clock base. And as soon as he's gonna be see that,
look at this! Look at this timing! Look at this probe timing compared to the Overlord. Oh, he did intend to go for that cannon rush, but this drone barely in the nick of time sees it. Now the probe got off the first hit, I think, so he does need to be careful. But this is just some very, very sneaky play from Mini so far.
Well, do you know that shield generates much faster than the Zerg health generation?
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, all I know is that, ooh, Queen's got some great drone control, and that probe is close to being killed. He's got a, ooh, man, I think it's dead. I think, oh my gosh, he is sneaking around, and this is going to be straight Nexus after the Forge opener.
Well, yeah, so that is the Nexus follow-up by Mini, and Queen should be feeling a little bit happy this time, because that 12 hatchery build, it didn't got cannon rush. It didn't get cannon rush this game, but I guess Queen really loves to take the mineral expansion first before the, I should say, the gas expansion.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by that, because as you've pointed out in previous casts, I mean, the mineral only has 6 patches, right? So it's a bit of a lost opportunity to not take a third base at bottom middle, for example. Now we do see the gateway obviously coming down for Mini. He's starting to take his gas, and it's just going to be a single cannon for defense so far.
Yeah, so far nothing is going crazy. Both of the players are pretty much playing standard so far. But, ooh, Mini lose that scouting probe. That is not going to be so great for Mini because Mini is not gonna be having any intel after this, and Queen is the one gonna be choosing whether he's gonna go for lair attack or Hydroden. Yeah, there's a Hydroden.
There is the Hydroden. So we might have some early aggressive opener from Queen. We'll see how hard he wants to commit is really the question here. Is, are we all inning? Are we going into like 6 Hydras and transitioning out of this? Have to wait and see. Now, that Forge is not spinning just yet.
Well, if I am looking at Mini's natural, I do not like that how should I say, like those cannon pylon. Every single building seems like not looking so great to put multiple cannons at the natural. And yeah, I think Queen is trying to saturate this maybe 973, maybe that's what he's aiming for. And remember back then, like on Neo Sylphid, like Queen was the one like so good at 973 and 9734, like the another expansion, like 4 base play. And yeah, I think that's what he's aiming for here. 973 should be coming momentarily, I would say.
Yeah, but this was a fast Citadel follow-up. I mean, he even has Stargate. I was shocked to see the Stargate also at his natural, but the Citadel was like a 415 Citadel. I mean, that's extremely fast. But what he traded to get that Citadel, or what he traded in order to get that Citadel, was he does not have +1 still not going. So he's going to be lacking the upgrades, but his speed is going to be quite fast. Okay, what's that probe intending to make there?
Where?
It was at the natural, positioning like it wanted to build some other type of tech building, but it did pull off. So maybe it's not going to build anything. But yeah, I mean, that Citadel's already done, man.
Yeah, but I don't see a Templar Archive yet. So, I mean, the Hydraless Flood is going to be coming momentarily. Okay, that must be... It does not seem like a Templar Archive building to me at the natural. Maybe that might be the second gateway. Maybe he's just pretending that, hey, I'm doing the Corsair DT rush. But it wasn't. It's just the Zala speed, I guess.
Yeah, and he's going to have fast speed versus this incoming Hydra attack. And so far, I don't think this is a committed Hydra attack because there's only 5 that have at least shown themselves. And for now, Mini, okay, it might be a committed Hydra attack because that is 7 more moving across the map. And Queen behind this is going to be ramping up his hatchery production. 5 cannons in response. So he's assuming that this is no joke. This is Queen actually trying to go for the kill.
And that is a bunch of the Hydralists are right now coming. One Corsair does get some intel. But like I said in the beginning, those cannon line, I mean, he cannot have another row of the cannon line. So now the range upgrade completes. He's going to be diving in, picking up 2 cannons. Only 3 Hydralists died.
Yeah, but a second cannon is gonna come to support, but you can see that the speed is already done, so Hydras need to be careful when they poke in. That's good control from our Protoss player right there, but this is, I don't want to say it's all in, but it's a lot of Hydras being built non-stop from Queen right now.
Yeah, this is totally 4 hatches. It's not even all in. I mean, these Hydralists are pretty much efficiently trading against Mini right now. The Zala count is still high and supporting those cannon line, but okay, that's another hatchery is also being morphed. So yeah, I mean, Zerg is not all in, and now Mini is having some trouble adding more of a cannons. Whether he should be tacking up or whether he should be adding more gateway, he's kind of on dilemma, I would say.
Yeah, that initial Hydra attack was great, but everything afterwards really hasn't done the damage that he wanted. He is kind of in an okay position. He's still got his 5 hatch. He's still got Evolution Chamber coming up. But Mini, he has survived the onslaught. Didn't really take a lot of damage. And he even cancels a cannon because that's how confident he is. He's got his Templar Archive done. He is starting to ramp up his gateway production too.
Yeah, so Mini has been scouting with those Corsair and saw there's a second gas and Evolution Chamber. So he should be feeling okay for now and not going to be building additional cannon. But I wonder if going for double forge in this kind of game scenario would be great or bad. But since we know Queen was late with the upgrade, why not just go for double forge and upgrade for like double 1-1 upgrade or an 2-2 upgrade, just like how he has done it from the last season.
Yeah, I would like to see the double forge too, especially since his first forge upgrade was delayed so long. But as played, it's just one for now. We do see the first Templar is out in the map, so that's going to help considerably, or help Mini defend considerably. And Queen is feeling confident. He's going to take a 4th base already. That is not a 7th hatch, that is just his 6th hatch. Supplies are still pretty even. It's 80 to 70, so it's not like this is a greedy base, but I am surprised that it went down before the 6th hatchery.
Okay, that's a bunch of Hydralisks are standing at the natural, but does get to see the High Templar and using this nice Side Storm, but the other High Templars does not have enough energy. Will be available momentarily. Okay, here it is, the Storm available, but not much of a Zala remaining.
Oh, that is a great debate right there, forcing out the Storm and backing off, but these Templars have energy, and that's a good Storm, hits a couple of the Hydras, but forcing an Archon Morph is always great for the Zerg player. Now behind this, he of course has that 5 hatch production, 6 hatch not done just yet, but no Spire, so there's no need to worry about potential Mutasnipes under the Templar.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. Double Forge as soon as the +1 finishes. And Mini definitely knows that he's behind with the upgrade. He must have the matching upgrade against the Hydralisk +1. And +1 of a Hydralisk should be kicking in momentarily, maybe in 1 minute or so. But Mini, he gotta be careful because he doesn't have any armor upgrade for those Zealots.
Yeah, but he is going to move out. He's feeling confident that he can get something done, but I don't think he will. However, supplies have shot up for Mini. Meanwhile, Queens has kind of stagnated at just 70, and that's an isolated base. Luckily for Queen, though, there's not a single Templar in this army.
No, not at all. I mean, these are just pretty much... Ooh, Lurker Egg Wall, but didn't work out so well. But, okay, that's a bunch of... army moving at the left side, but the right side is vulnerable. One Zalo will be picking up 1 drone, maybe 2nd drone as well. Okay, we'll run away.
He gets 2 drones and then just waltzes away. Okay, this might be like a 4-man DT drop or something into the main, and this could deal catastrophic damage because we see all of the units are out of position in the center of the map for Queen. So what Mini wants to do is he wants to make it chaotic while he sneaks this drop into the main. You can see he's going to attack the 3rd base and drop at the same time. This is perfect.
Oh, the shuttle. Oh, why did you go to the left side? But I guess this initial attack at the mineral expansion. But ooh, Queen is definitely aware of it. He does have that 500 that's we're sitting at the main base. But one Zala is still alive. Oh, it's a storm drop.
It's an everything.
Oh.
Wow, it had double Storm available, gets a couple of drones, but he loses the shuttle and the Zealot. Now, I wonder if Queen realizes that the DT survived. It looks, you can tell from his movement that he did, and he is going to pick that off momentarily, or at least spot it for now.
Yeah, all those drawing the attention at the mineral expansions was so great. Was so great for Mini, and now finally Mini stabilizes a unit comp and slowly changing into mass gun here, and Mini is having that enough money for another expansion soon. I mean, that should be the probe. Okay, Mini is Mini doesn't seem happy from the webcam, but maybe something wasn't working out so well.
I think it's because he realizes that his drop didn't do much damage. It was a pretty heavily invested drop too. It was a Templar, a DT, and the Templar had double Storm. And his 3rd base is just now starting when Protoss has been on, or when Zerg has been on 4 bases. So he's in a bit of trouble here.
I may understand why Mini was tilted, because the cybernetic score was still spinning. He probably thought the gun range was already done. And look at that, how much of gun he just made. That was another cycle of gun production for the natural. And that means that's about like 2 groups of gun, but he doesn't have gun range yet. He cannot attack without gun range upgrade.
Yeah, well, I don't even know if the attack would have worked because we see the supplies are really freaking high for Zerg right now, and of course Hydra Lurker on high ground, not exactly the easiest to attack into. Now behind this, Mini is acting like he wants to take a 4th base, but Queen with a sneaky group of, well actually 2 groups of Hydras may branch off. And look at this move by Mini. He branches off one Zealot to see like, hey, are you going for a backstab? Oh, he doesn't care.
Yeah, these Hydralists are about to go for drawing some attention to the north side, and this is gonna force Mini to split some army to the top side here. But guns are taking so much of a attack by the lurkers.
Yeah, but like the Zealots spotted where all the Hydras were. They're out of position at the top side of the map. There's only 6 lurkers. The lurkers are dealing a lot of damage. I actually thought that Mini was going to swoop around with his goons and catch all those Hydras at the top right. But instead, he is just going to force a fight here at the choke. And now Mini's army is picking up supply. It's 160 to 110.
What is this? I think Queen wasn't actually aware of it. I mean, the majority of the lurkers got killed, and now 3 storms are available. I mean, I guess it's more storms available. Oh my god, this is a critical moment where Queen is not able to defend while he's switching to the Hive Tech ready. He doesn't have Defiler yet.
Yeah, all the lurkers died, almost all the Hydras are gone, and it's now a 40 supply lead for Mini. And behind this, 4th base either didn't go up or it was canceled, but he is about to breach one of these bases. Looks like he's just going to back off for now, but 4th base, I think, is completely vulnerable.
Yeah, every expansion is so vulnerable for Queen, but you know, Hydralists are pretty darn strong. But okay, that's a massive lurkers right now morphing, so that means Mini right now has 25 seconds. The lurker takes 25 seconds to morph here, and this is the right time for Mini to attack. But if he gives those time and have those lurkers spread and borrowed, that's not going to be looking great. But I think he's just going to go for the bust out here at the Natural. Natural has no sunken. Oh!
Storms are amazing, getting almost all of those lurker eggs, but they morph. That means that the lurkers are going to regen that health, but still, multiple storms are going to go down and wipe down 3 of the lurkers, and the Natural has been breached. The evolution chamber wall might get taken down. More Zealots from the top. He's just flooding, and it's double supply for Mini.
Wow. I thought Mini was not happy because his gun he totally forgot about the gun upgrade, but things just worked out so well for Mini here.
Yeah, I thought that Queen was in a fine position. It was like only a 15 supply difference for between the two, and he had 4 bases before Protoss even started his 3rd Nexus. But somehow Mini he's just the king of engagements, wipes out all the lurkers, wipes out all the Hydras, and takes a fantastic trade and just completely bulldozes him.
I really loved how Mini split up the army like separately, just pure gun High Templar versus lurker line, and Zealot was completely at the opposite direction and denying all those 2 groups of Hydralists from the north at the north side. And once those gun High Templars were trading against those mass lurker at the Queen's Natural, he immediately realized, hey, he's lacking with the lurker count. I can bust this. That was such a great move.
Yeah, and that's what you need in Protoss versus Zerg, is you need to be decisive. Whatever you decide on, you gotta go for it. Like, you cannot let a moment or let Zerg catch back up into the game. Because you saw at the end, like those lurkers that were morphing, I thought Zero was going to actually get them all set up in time, and Mini was going to miss his opportunity. But instead, he manages to seal the win there. And now, this is match point scan. We're going into game 5, which is also Mini's pick, and he's 1 game away from making it into the finals again, and it would be on the back of another 4-1 victory, and he went 4-1 versus Queen last season too.
I mean, Queen was doing so great, but I mean, things weren't working out so well. Maybe he might need to watch how Hero actually plays. I mean, like like how Mini said on the interview, he kind of rates all those top 3 Zerg players would be Zolki, Hero, and Queen is pretty much the 3rd one, and he feels confident to play against Queen because he doesn't feel much of a threat there. And you know, we have casted lots of Heroes game against Protoss. We saw he makes like 70 drone.
Yeah, he's definitely drone man. And he gets quite aggressive, but then switches into that passive Hydra Lurker style. But he just crushes it in terms of the macro. Well, guys, this is match point, and you can see it's Mini's pick. It's Ascension. So this is make or break for Queen, and just looking at the reaction, I mean, he kind of already looks like he's given up. So he needs your energy, guys. This is potentially the last game of the series. Mini versus Queen, Game 5. Okay, well, he got the best spawn imaginable in the top middle. It is our Zerg Queen. And at the bottom right, I mean, that's not a bad spawn either. We've got Mini.
So yeah, we're right now looking at Mini's main base. So here's something that I would like to talk about. That the top two probes are pretty much just like an auto mining boost for Mini. So even if Queen has spawned at a 12 o'clock site, it's still fine for Mini that he's still also getting those mineral boosts, just like how Queen is also getting the mineral boost. And wow, I mean, here's the ASL map data. It shows 3 wins for Zerg and 6 wins for Protoss. So against this Zerg versus Protoss matchup, I can start to understand why Mini decided to choose this Ascension.
Yeah, and look at that win rate. It said Queen's win rate on here is 1-4. Meanwhile, Mini is 5-1. So a big discrepancy between the players. And this time around, Mini for the first time is going to first scout Queen. Now I wonder if this changes Queen's game plan. I expect the pool, yep, there it is. It is going to be an overpool.
Yeah, the overpool does seem fast to me. I mean, the 9 pool usually starts at 1 minute 6 seconds, 7 seconds, but he got that overpool started at 13 seconds. So that I would say Queen was optimizing those mining boosts and so on. Was so great here. And Mini, oh, okay, I know this. You know how there was like a typical map, like 2 players map, and you do the pylon scout, and if the opponent goes for overpull or even later pull, you can go for 12 nexus just like this, or maybe it's an 11 nexus.
Yeah, I think this feels a bit greedy to build the Nexus before the Forge, but we'll see. I guess he's, of course, got it mapped out. It is going to be 11 Nexus, 11 Forge, and we'll have to see how many Lings Queen wants to build. For now, it's just 2, and he took that natural, or that hatchery, at the 3rd base.
Well, I don't think Mini is going to be dying to this sort of Zergling pressure, because we see him just making only 2 Zerglings and he doesn't get any of the intel. I mean, that first Overlord is now about to see the natural, but he doesn't get to see the photon cannon timing. I mean, at pro level, everything is just like calculated. Like cannon goes up as soon as Zergling pops out, but he doesn't get to see, he doesn't have any intel, so he can't really send out those 2 Zergling and try to pressure the opponent who's going to be having the photon cannon on time. And now he sees this, he's not going to be happy about this, like how late that cannon was.
Yep, Mini's going to get away with a really greedy opener, so you can see the benefits of getting that first scout off. It's huge when you have players of this caliber facing off versus each other. Now Queen, he does build a 3rd hatch at his nat. We are going into, I would say, the most standard opener. It's going to be around like a 245 gas, and he's going to start going into that lair pretty soon.
So even though it's not happy build opening by Queen, but he's still getting all this lair tech really fast. Okay, here's the Cybernetics core also going up super fast, just like how fast the lair tech is also for Queen. But I wonder what the next follow-up is for Mini here.
Yeah, remember last game we saw fast Citadel. He had been going into fast Stargate, of course, but he doesn't necessarily have to. However, the Protoss or the Zerg Overlords are in his main and right outside of his natural. So I would be surprised to see him just build the Citadel right in front of the Overlord's face. I'm expecting to see that Stargate come down momentarily. The probe has done a good job to stay alive. It's getting full intel, and there is that Stargate.
Wow, 4 minutes 6 seconds Stargate, and he's already putting down the 2nd assimilator. And whenever Protoss is putting down the assimilator, as soon as the Stargate starts, that's the sign that we might gonna be seeing some DT pressure.
Yep, DTs might be coming out. We already saw him go for that DT drop last game. Didn't have much success, but he did have a lot of success on the revolver game, popping those hiders and lurkers. Probe is still alive, man. It's going to come in for another scout, but oh, look at that drilling. Gets through the drone, and he's going to see the Spire timing.
This is the... if you don't get to pick up the scouting worker, like, no matter what race you are, Protoss, Terran, you gotta pick up that scouting worker as soon as possible as Zerg. And if you don't get to snipe that the worker as soon as possible, I mean, the opponent is just gonna be feeling so much confident and just not gonna be building much of a defensive tower. And look, he's just been staying on a single photon cannon and tacking up super fast.
Yeah, and this looks reminiscent of what we saw earlier. It's going to be double gate, no Templar Archive. It's going to be a lot of pressure being thrown at Queen in just a minute or so. I didn't get to see, is the Forge spinning? I didn't actually see
Yeah,
it.
Forge was spinning at the same time while the Adun was going up. So maybe Mini is trying to do the same playstyle just like the last game, like saving up lots of Vespene gas so he can start making a lot.
Ooh!
Second Stargate, I didn't think of that.
So I think this is pretty much another mind game. He's going to move out quite quickly. Remember, we saw earlier the quick move out and it forced Mutalisk, and he stayed on Mutalisk for quite a long time. But he's preemptively building a second Stargate to catch these Mutalisks. So his second Zealot attack can just simply overrun Queen while he's transitioning into Hydras.
Look at how much of a gas right now Queen is taking. That's a third gas right now. He just about start morphing at the third base here. So that's a given sign. Like, you don't make the third gas at this time, like 6 minutes 10 seconds, somewhere around there. I mean, if you want to go for Hydraless, you gotta have the heavily based on mineral. But if you're getting those super fast third gas, this double Stargate follow up by Mini is just gonna be completely counter against this Muta Zergling switch by Queen.
Oh my gosh, those Mutas just barely catch the Zealots moving out. But those Scourge are trying to intercept these Corsairs, and this actually may have been a mistake from Mini suiciding those Zealots into the Mutalisk. But goodbye, Scourge.
Well, we know that this map has 10 mineral fields at the main base and 8 mineral fields at the 8. So that's totally total 18 mineral fields. Mini's gonna be having lots of pumping up lots of Zealot production here. He does get to see the Stargate, so he should be realizing that must be the second Stargate, but really catch it? Yeah, he should be able to realize by now.
Yeah, the Overlord, I think, saw the initial Stargate, so he should know that this is definitely double Stargate. And now, Mini's hand has been shown. He's got to do something now. He's got to get across the map and do some damage before these Hydras get pumped out in critical numbers. And right now, it's not critical, it's just 5. Okay, there we go. There's 10 more behind it.
I am not sure. I mean, Queen does have lots of Hydralus already, but does he have range upgrade? Okay, maybe he does have the speed Hydralus, but I don't think the range upgrade is still done yet. But here's the Zealot flood coming, going for the harassment at the expansion, the third base. But the number of the Corsairs are pretty much picking up the Overlord here and there. I mean, there's 3 more Overlords at the third expansion as well. We hear lots of Overlords are dying.
Yeah, I think this was a big mistake. Queen was too confident. He goes for a backstab. Now he's supply block scan. And I realize Mini doesn't have much defense either, but he does have gateways going up in his main. Oh my gosh, it's just permanent supply block for Queen.
Yeah, more Overlords are coming out from the third base, but at the same time, Mini needs to be careful. He does have double gateway at the natural, but single cannon. Maybe this backstab is somewhat working out well here. I mean, having that much of a drone with the mass Hydralus might help to defend on that, but the Overlord permanent supply block.
Yeah, and 2 Zealots not going to save the day, but they still managed to take down a couple of Hydras, and he's just constantly supply block. If he could reinforce, I think the backstab was fantastic, but he can't reinforce ever. He's even going to lose his third hatch, or his third base hatch.
Yeah, third base hatch is gone. I mean, that macro hatchery is kind of like irrelevant. It doesn't need to attack that hatchery.
Oh my gosh. What happened to the Overlord? Or the Stair came back and popped the Overlord?
Yeah,
and
it
now
did.
QBT saved the day.
Maybe
Well.
this is the sign of Zerg needs to stop making Mutalisk against Protoss for now.
Maybe, but Mini, he's in a commanding lead now. He doesn't have that much on the ground, but there's isolated Overlords again.
Oh.
And DTs are moving into the natural too, and Queen doesn't realize. This is it. He's all in. This is the final attack for Queen. He either wins it here or Mini's going to take the series. The probes are being pulled off. There's no
Oh.
Overlords again, and it's 4 DTs. Oh, there is one Overlord.
Okay, the one Overlord is here. That's a base trade by these two players. But the massive cannons are pretty much supporting. I mean, Mini can give up the natural. Mini can give up the natural.
Where's the Overlord? It's not there.
Oh,
What happened to
Overlord!
it?
He died to the photon cannon.
I think it did die to the photon cannon, and now it comes. The Overlords are coming back, but Zealots are out. 5 Zealots can easily take on this
1-1.
army, and they have 1-1 upgrades too. DT's wreaking havoc.
Wow,
He's still supply blocked.
This is really sick multitasking right now we're seeing by Mini. I mean, Mini, it's okay to sacrifice a bunch of probe at the natural because the main base is fully saturated. He can pretty much run like 4 or 5 gateway here, and Queen cannot keep up this game anymore. Wow, Mini is gonna be winning this best of 7 series once again against Queen. 4-1, and it just repeats.
Yeah, just like last season, he goes and gets that 4-1 victory, and you knew that this was going to be a special day for him because the first game he just made Queen look silly. It looked like complete outclass. However, Queen put up a good showing, and the backstab on this map I thought was a decent idea. The problem was all of his Overlords were just right there for the pickings, and he just constantly gets supply blocked.
Yeah, so I feel like Zerg players should be thinking about changing the build order against Protoss for the future matches, in my opinion, because all the standard type of build, like how they wanted to go for like heavy Muta playstyle, but double Stargate, surprise, you cannot go for a Muta anymore. But then the Flood comes in the next, and since Queen was affording lots of money or heavily invested their money for the Muta Scourge, he can't really do against those Flood.
Yeah, let's take a look at the highlight here. I mean, this is where it all went wrong. Like, you're looking at this, and it's like, okay, there's not actually a lot of defense for Zerg if he's just going to send the rest of his army to the right side of the map. And this is where it starts to get ugly, because that's 3 Overlords just sitting there. And there's like 9 Corsairs. I was so shocked that he branched off these Hydras when the Overlords were just sitting there. And now it's just too many Zealots.
Yeah, look at the saturation. I mean, 2 base with the 42 worker, perfect. And Mini is heavily playing super aggressive here, constantly picking up drone, hurting every single location. And I wonder what that upgrade is from the Cybernetics score, but it doesn't really matter because lots of Overlords are pretty much getting picked up by the mass Corsairs. That's 9 Corsairs!
Yeah, he had a ton. Remember, he's got the double Stargate. So yeah, that's a ton of Corsairs, and I don't think he had +1 weapon, but it doesn't matter when you have this amount of Corsairs. That's goodbye another Overlord right there, and another one's heavily damaged, and you can see just constant red supply for Queen. And that means Mini, he's going to move to the finals again. And we're going to be getting into an interview with our
변현재 선수가 지난
winner.
시즌 이어서 이번 시즌 다시 한번 김명훈 선수 잡고 결승전 올라가게 됐거든요.
Oh, it's
자,
so
결승전 오늘
sad to
소감
see
말씀해 주시죠.
no light for Queen at the
일단은
back.
다시
So,
제가 결승전에 갈 거라고
how do you feel?
생각했었는데
You once again make it into ASL ASL final season
오늘
12.
경기 내에서 지금
네.
상대를 보면서 맞춰나간 유연한 플레이가 일품이었거든요. 오늘
Kinda
쉽지 않은
feels
상대를
great.
만나서 경기 펼쳤는데
He kind of feels like he
오늘
belongs
승리를
there.
따냈습니다. 지난
So
시즌에
that's how
이
confident he
준우승
is.
굉장히 좀 아쉬웠죠. 어떠셨어요?
So the caster asks
아쉬움이 너무 많이
Mini,
남아가지고
last
이제
season
결승 끝나고도
you lost to Larva 3-4.
많이 나더라고요.
I'm pretty sure you were disappointed of your play and maybe some strategy that you chose and
지금
typical
분위기는
map.
너무 좋지 않습니까?
And
오늘
do,
뭐 경기
and
내에서도
do you think you
긴장하는 모습
overcome
없었고
or get
안정적으로
better
경기
for this
펼쳤고
season?
자신감도 좀 생겼고 자
And
그러면
Mini's pretty
유영진
much
선수와
saying he's
조일장 선수의
starting to get more
반대편에
confident.
대결이 좀
He
기다리고
kind of
있는
learned his
상황인데
lesson.
아니
He can
김명훈
start
선수까지
fixing.
잡아낸
He started
변현재 선수
fixing up his
입장에서는
mistakes.
오히려 뭐 조일장 선수 오는 게 더 낫지 않아요?
일단은 제가 오프라인에서는 아직 그 테란전을 그 엄청 잘하지를 못하겠더라고요. 저그전은 엄청 많이 해가지고 그래도 어느 정도 노하우가
So
생기는데.
who do you want to play against for the final? And Mini says Mini didn't get to play against Terran too much.
잘 보여줄지를 모르겠어요.
He's not sure how well he's gonna be performing on offline tournament for Terran versus Protoss matchup. Even though on online performance he's doing so great, but he's not sure about the offline stage.
높다고 생각은 하는데 이제 결승에서 제가 좀 잘 될지가 모르겠어요.
네. 그러면은 뭐 유영진 선수보다
So he said it's okay to play against Rush for a Terran versus Protoss matchup, but
더욱더 우승에 좀
he's
가까워지는
not
분이네요.
sure whether he can actually beat Rush
이제 대회에서 항상 좀 어느 정도는 보여주기
and show
때문에
and how confident he can be against Rush.
할수 있지
So he
않을까.
kind of prefers to play against Hero instead.
유영진 그리고 조일장 둘의 대결은 누가 이길 것 같아?
And who do you think is gonna win?
테란전을 너무 잘하더라고요.
Hero and Rush.
조일장이 이길
So
거라고
Hero
예상은 하고 있어요.
has been
그래요.
performing so
자,
well
지난 시즌과
online, offline,
이번
both of them,
시즌
and
결승전
also
연거푸 올라오면서
spawn
이제는
matches.
좀 우승을 좀 해야 되겠다.
And
여기서
recently from the KCM
우승
race war,
못하고
Hero
만약에
literally
한 번더
knocked out all the
들어가게
Terran
되면은
players,
연속
all killed 4-0.
순준되면
So Hero is
이게 두 번이
definitely
세 번 되고
a
세 번이
top
네 번
Zerg player
되고
right now.
많이 된 사람은 6번까지
So he kind of
되거든요.
thinks Hero will be
네, 그
winning against
징크스에
Rush.
빠질 수 있습니다. 그럼 벗어날 수가 없어요. 제가 아는 선수 중에 그런 선수들이 있거든요.
So
우승을 한 번을
the caster
해야지
said
다음부터도 계속 우승할 것
he has been
같은데.
casting lots of StarCraft tournament,
너무 하다 보니
more than 10 years, 15 years, something like that. And he
시작부터 이제
has met lots of players who are struggling
잘 풀어나갈
to break this
수 있지 않았나
jinx.
싶은데
Once you get
매번
second place,
우승하고 계속
you constantly get second place all the time. You're not gonna be getting the first place. Do you think you can break
네,
it?
조건 상황에서 여기서 세 번이 되냐 아니면 지금 우승이 되냐에서 이제 길이 좀 달라지게 되는 상황인데 그럼 이번 결승전
So Mini is still not sure.
일단은 그
So, what kind of how are you gonna be prepared for the final?
이제 제가 게임 하면서도 좀 잘 풀리고
So Mini's saying that while he was playing for the round of 16 and round of 8, or maybe except for the round of 8, round of 16 wasn't working so well for Mini. So he wasn't sure that he can make it into final once again. But since he made it into final, just like last season, he will try his best and break that jinx and play better this season.
이기기는 힘들 거라고 생각하시는 분들도 많았는데 일단
Any last word to your fans? So he's saying a lot of fans probably didn't believe him because Queen lost to Mini 4-1 last time, but Queen was performing so well on online that Mini might not have any chance anymore.
그런 사람 처음 봐가지고 이제 제가
Okay, he was saying thanks to.
에서 이제 좀 경기하기 전에 손을 푼 적이 처음이거든요. 이제 그
He was saying something about Larva. Maybe Larva helped him some practice games, and Larva also gave Mini some advice like feedbacks and what kind of mindset he should be having for this round of 4. So he's pretty much shocked. Like Larva was taking off from this competition, like competitive scene, but he was actually supporting Mini to play better and giving some more advices. So he's kind of wants to say thanks to Larva there, and thank you for the interview.
Thank you for the translation scan. And yeah, it is surprising that Larva comes back just to give Mini support like that. I mean, that's fantastic. And you can see that he definitely used that knowledge because he had build order win in almost every single game, completely outplaying Queen today. And you knew it was special, like I said, from game 1. 1 base, 2 gate. When was the last time you saw that? You see the results here? Yeah.
1 base, 2 gate would be, I don't know, maybe last season of round of 24 where Mini was playing against Miso. Mini against Miso. Yeah, he went for main base 2 gateway that time.
Oh, did he? I can't remember that, but I haven't seen it in quite a while, or at least I didn't think I'd seen it in quite a while. But we're getting a rundown of how the results ended up. Win on Eclipse, loss on Largo, and then 3 straight victories for Mini. That means he's going to be second-time finalist now.
Yeah, this is...
3-time actually.
Yeah, 3 times making it into final, season 7, season 11, season 12. And 2 seasons consecutively making it into final, season 11, season 12 here. And that's the newest record right now. We're seeing Protoss made it into final 3 times. Like one player make it into one Protoss player make it into final 3 times for this ASL tournament.
Nicely done from Mini. As I stated, he's definitely the go-to Protoss these days. Like, he's on a next level over everybody else. And if you thought this match was exciting, we've got an equally exciting match coming up on Tuesday. It's going to be Rush versus Hero. Hero, who I really didn't think was an expert at versus Terran, has surprisingly super strong Terran. And you mentioned he's been all-killing people in the Pro League and in KCM and stuff like that. So Rush is going to have a bit of trouble going up against Hero. However, we have to say Rush crushed it versus Soma, especially that, was it Revolver or Good Night game? The one where Soma went for the 3rd base at the natural?
Oh yeah, that was a Revolver.
Yeah, Sunken Man and Ultraman. That was killer play from Rush.
It's kind of interesting to see of this map chosen by these 2 players. The first, 3rd, and the 5th map was chosen by Rush actually. So I guess he doesn't want to play on the other weird looking maps, like a really far rush distance. He doesn't want to get map abuse, like the terrain gets, you know, like those typical terrains can abuse so much about abusive for Zerg to play against Terran, and he wants to avoid those for his map choice. And I kind of like that. Polypoid, Eclipse, and Largo, they're pretty good for Terran, I would say.
Yeah, those are pretty darn good maps. And I saw your favorite map, Good Night, is the 4th pick, especially the top left position.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah. So not a shocker that Rush ended up not picking that map. And then, of course, Lemon is the final map. But yeah, today's series was very exciting. What was your favorite game of the day? Did you have one?
I would say about the game number 4 on Polypoid, where Queen chose the map, but he lost that game.
Yeah.
And we know how much of the advantage that Queen had in that game. Like, he took down the Forge, he took down lots of cannons and maybe Zala Probe here and there, and he also had that 4 base running super fast at that time too. But the moment where Mini decided to, like, you know, maybe because I'm Terran player, like, you know, you have to literally separate your Marine hockey, Medic hockey, Science Vessel hockey. Every single unit has to be separately hockeyed. And you know, a bunch of Protoss players do not like to separate them. They say, oh, I just want to select them like randomly and just attack move 1A, 2A, 3A. But Mini wasn't. Mini separated his Gun hockey separately, High Templars hockey separately, Observer hockey maybe stacked with the High Templar, maybe something like that. But Zealots were at the north side, denying that 2 groups of Hydralisks at the north side and catching off guard. And it was a fantastic trade, I would say.
Yeah. Mini just crushed it in the Polypoid game. I'm trying to think. Let me think for a minute. Of course, I like the first game the most because we just never get to see that type of play.
Oh,
but yeah, Mini,
the Robo, yeah.
yeah, Mini was just on point all day long. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, but I guess it doesn't matter. It's the end of the road today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Tuesday. We're going to find out who's going to be facing off versus Mini in the finals. But we got to go into our last semifinals match. It's going to be Rush versus Hero. Make sure you tune in, and we'll see you there.